Hello, is everyone? Welcome to the Aramide and Taiwo show. Yes, yes, yes. 16 years on this journey, 16 years on this journey, and we have our shades and our colors. Great having you breakfast in the city. Conqueror Chinwe, great having you here. Awesome.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, 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 yes. 16 years. All right. So if you have any questions, right now we're at the phase of the meet and greet, trying to just so we'll introduce ourselves, and if you want to, if you have any questions, we're able to take it on. Mademi Holmes, yes, I see
Mademi
you.
Holmes.
Kenira,
Kenera, my darling sister-in-law.
amazing.
You're the best.
Yes, yes, I see Fabumi from Birmingham. I see Grand Event. Great, great, great. I wave at Sam Nike. How are you? We waving. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Fabumi. Thank you, Olatoxi. Tokumbo.
Tokumbo.
Where are you? Amazing moment. There's so much technology just affords us. Way back we would have probably been in some event.
Tokumbo wanted live hangout. We're doing it here for you, Tokumbo.
And so in 16 years, at least, we would have learned something from this school, even if we're dollars. And we're hoping that at some point, we can turn this into a program wherein people, with same proclivities can have an in-depth understanding of how to move in this journey called marriage. All right, marriage is what you make of it. Marriage is what you make of it. Olatoxi, I see you waving at you guys. We waving. Woo, 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 woo. All right. All right. All right. All right. So, Aramide, you want to tell our audience a little about you and how you came about the name Legalcaterer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aramide Elizabeth Bailey.
That used to be an issue, because I don't know why you are now married, but and look, I'm he for she.
Yeah.
You're not married, and then you still want to put your father's name before the. But it's okay. It's okay.
You can imagine I had to drop that lovely English branded name.
Slave name, you mean?
Kind of. I'm sorry. I love that name.
No, but so you're stuck with that name now.
Yes, yeah. I'm not going anywhere. Okay. By God's grace.
Great, great, great.
So my name is Aramide Adepoju.
Okay.
I'm 40-something years old. A lawyer by profession.
Amazing.
And stumbled into catering. Not deliberately, by accident.
When I married her,
I was the worst cook on earth.
Yes, I used to manage her food. All right, but without
all that is history.
All that is history.
You need to come and see his stomach now.
Matching short bed fix. All right, great. Are you betting on us? Great to have you here. Awesome.
So it's been yes. Aramide Adepoju is a legal caterer. We coined the name legal caterer because I'm a lawyer by profession and a caterer as well. So they call me the legal caterer.
I'm the some guy there's a okay. I thought you wanted to join the video. Okay. If you want to join also, you could join us and let's make this interactive. All right.
AKA Ramsey Sport. So who is Aramide? That's all about who Aramide is. Been married to this.
Tokumbo says your food was not that bad.
Tokumbo, it was bad.
Hey. Don't. Olaito, that's.
Hey, boom, boom, hi.
How are you?
You should be here.
You should be here. Yeah, discreet. Be discreet about our location. Yeah. We're somewhere.
Tokumbo knows. So my food, like Tokumbo, she's my.
Remember my BFF? Yes.
All right. Tokumbo, don't psych me. My food was really bad. I knew that, and thank God, I ended up working around it, and I'm here today because of determination and positivity, which was enacted in me, which I didn't have a choice about, but I had to stumble on it.
You have to, yes. You
Yeah.
can't be staying with Mr. Positivity
Mm-hmm.
and not be ingrained with positivity.
Startup
Right?
specialist.
The status, the
Chat
chat
chop
chop
specialist.
specialist. All right. So you know that when I was about to come about that name, I bounced that name off some people, and then one person in a joking manner said, "Ewotun is startup," as in which one is startup? You know, and then the way the person spoke, I like startup, startup. So we joke around that name, the startup specialist, and whenever we want to catch some laughter, we just say chat up specialist. He says, "Oh, Sam Knight," he says, "I love your sincerity. Young ladies should learn from you, ma'am." Yes, but the beautiful thing, and that's why you see, women have a role to play. I keep saying women have a role to play. So when she came in, I was a very good cook. As in, I am a good cook. Even right now, everybody still has to lick the plate and lick their hands, whenever I cook. All right. So I think that also prompted her. And, as a couple, we were able to balance, our weaknesses. Yeah. So the first 5 years was terrific.
Horrible.
Horrible. As in,
Horrible.
that was a storm. You want to know?
Horrible.
Horrible. Chimasom, welcome on board. Thank you.
Horrible 5 years. I can testify.
So 5 years, like almost like also in business, like the first 5 years is like will determine how far you want to go. All right. So our 5 years was more of Tom and Jerry. When I say Tom and Jerry, I mean really Tom and Jerry. Marriage fitness. It's good to have you here. We are doing the real thing here. We're sharing the shades and the colors of the last 16 years on the Aramide and Taiwo show. We're hoping we could also ingrain people with some insight as to what's going on. Chief sister, my sister, how are you? Great sister. You need to bring us on board, sister. Yeah. Hello, marriage fitness. All right. So what we're doing now is we're just doing a meet and greet so they get to know who we are, and then we'll start to talk about the shades and the colors of our relationship over the last 16 years. Thank you,
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Logging on.
So that's the Legalcaterer. So she's told you how she got into. First, she's a lawyer, and then by the virtue of the fact that she could not cook and she had to respond to that ability, she started to cook. All right. So much more than a coach. So this is about me now. Much more than a coach. Much more than a business strategist. You need a startup, a startup specialist. Someone that will help you ideate, someone that will also help you incubate and possibly help you implement your ideas. All right. So and that has a gamut of, is in a gamut of each circle where we can move around several other things, finance, business planning. We offer support services and all of that. So that's what startup is. So when you see this door, we're actively working, We probably are like Nigeria's hardworking couple. So she's doing 9 to 5. In between 9 to 5,
super.
Hey, Superman. Hey, you. How are you? I never see you. All right. So she's doing 9 to 5 most times. And then in between, she's also doing catering. And then she's also a mother. And in between, she's also having to take care of the other room. And all the yes, chop. Probably. Let's jump and chop your stepdad leaves. All right. Amazing. Okay, so that's about us. Do you have any questions at this point before we start to talk about the shades and the colors? Okay.
So, any question?
No, Tokuba has to even log in live because in the beginning she was there.
She was there.
I was there. She was fine that I was there.
I was there.
Back in the days, enjoying this start chop. Oh God. Super Lee. I was start up, yeah. Okay. So how did we meet? Okay, so how did we meet? You want to take that?
Okay, like I said, this morning when I was writing my little piece on our wedding anniversary message, I met this young guy.
Young guy.
Like I said, Taiwo has always been part of me in almost half of my whole existence.
Aneka, welcome.
Hi, Aneka.
Yes, yes.
Taiwo has always been part of me right from primary school days. He was just
you were available.
I was not available to you, Kilonche boy. I was not available. We coincidentally went to the same primary school. I was his junior.
Yes. Not like that.
Not like that.
There was no crazy snatching.
I was your junior.
Yeah.
Then Aneka. You know, then we got done with second primary school, only to find out that our parents lived together in Festac Town. We attended the same church, Anglican Church of the Pentecost on 21 Road. Then it was time for secondary school. I was in my own secondary school, JJ. The next thing, this guy came to my secondary school.
Okay.
You know?
Well done.
As my senior.
Oh, Lord God.
Tizzy was senior Tizzy then. His name has always been there for like almost 30 decades now. 25?
3 decades.
3 decades, sorry. 3 decades. You know, he's always had that name. He got that name when he was in secondary school. So we used to call him Senior Tizzy.
Senior Tizzy. Young Senior Tizzy.
Senior Tizzy had other girlfriends.
Chief sister, first tag.
Senior Tizzy, we were not friends. Oh. I didn't even like him when I was in school because he was like 3 years or 2 years my senior. You know, he was dating someone like my school mother.
Oh Lord God.
You know, and I didn't even like this guy. I didn't like him honestly because I also had my eyes on another guy. You know that I was senior, you know.
Aneka.
Then I went up to university after leaving secondary school, and during my Jambai days, Taiwo comes up to we had a party from Osu.
Let me say that now. So she went to University of Harvard in Osu.
Harvard University Osu chapter. Yes.
Please note that.
Note it. I went to Harvard. Osu chapter.
Because I made up my mind that I will only marry someone from Harvard. Anyway, I bumped into her in those days when we were running. So there was a rave or some club party that was happening in Ibadan. I finished my first degree from the University of Ibadan, you know, the only university in Nigeria. All right, but that's contestable anyway. Greatest of the greatest, yeah. All right, okay. Now, anyway.
Greatest of the greatest, Harvard.
Amazing. Anyway, so they came over on, they came on club parole, and then right then and there, I said, this girl, what are you doing here?
Wanted to slaughter me.
Come on, can you go home with me tonight? Good night.
Tonight.
I just want to do it tonight. I said, yes, I will go and drop you in. That's from Ibadan. I promise that I was going to go and drop her in Osu with a cha-cha 505. You know, let me take you to Osu after tonight. The only thing I saw was that this lady vamoosed.
I took off.
She took off. I said, God help you. God help you.
You know, so that was we stumbled on each other again in my year one. After 5 years, I never saw Taiwo again until I got law school.
No, it wasn't law school. You had some party.
No.
It wasn't.
I came to Abuja for law school.
Okay.
Tokumbo, everybody were all in Abuja for law school. Then I think it was my 21st birthday. You know, my dad had a party for me in Asokoro. JJ Leo, we said we needed a DJ.
Reguville. I can't pronounce that. I can't really see that. Reguville. Yes, I get it. Adiola, Mama Fall, welcome on board. Yes.
Okay, so my dad had a party for me at my that was my 21st birthday.
Okay.
So we needed a DJ, and I was new in Abuja. So my senior brother said, he has someone that could get a DJ for us.
Yes. The
And
DJ
that was Kola Oye.
Yes, that's my best well, the best man of my
wedding.
And
that happened to have been Kola Oye at that time. So Kola and I had not met, but we're talking on the phone. And it was already a chaika. He was already, saying one or two things, and the voice, Omo Botai, the guy's voice was sweet and all that. Yes. So I was already looking forward to
Reg Love EK.
I was looking forward to meeting Kola at my party.
Reg Love EK.
Not knowing that Taiwo was Kola's friend. The next thing, Titi told Kola, this girl, I have been chasing her since primary school. That was how he chanced Kola. Kola was my crush before you knew it.
Titi somehow we have to be very diplomatic about some of this.
Titi just came and chased Kola off the lane. And we were not dating initially because I was like, no, this boy, Titi was a player in Abuja then. He was a player. Tokumbo, you remember? He was a player in Abuja then with his clique of friends. Let me not mention their names. But if you know, you know. So me, I was looking for a born again Christian, Omo daddy, Omo mommy boy. But Ty was a street boy, as in Ogbologbo to the cop. And I was like, no, I don't want this kind of man. No. But the guy would not just get off my back. And coincidentally, we found out that we're staying apart, like two streets away from each other in Gadonasco Close in Asokoro. I was like, but boy, you shall finish any, as in So I tried to dodge him. The next thing,
you want to set it up
we were going for what's it called? We're going for chambers attachment. So I thought I was going to get off his net or his hook. We got into church. All of us were in church. We're praying. We're worshiping. I was worshiping God, Leo. Before you knew it, I just turned. You know when they tell you turn to your neighbor and welcome your neighbor left and right. I just turned again. Who did I see? This man again behind me. Yes. And I'm like, come on, as in, Taiwo, what is it now?
Technical issues. Sorry, dealing with some technical issues. All right, we're good. Thank you.
Thanks, Vijay.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, people.
Okay, so
what's Super saying? What are you looking for? What you're looking for in Sokoto is in Sokoto.
Can you imagine?
Then I turned again in church, and what did I see behind me telling me happy Sunday and welcome to church? This boy again. I was like, God, kini bobele now. Okay, sorry, I jumped one part. There was a time we wanted to go clubbing one of those days. My dad was not in town. So my friends, all of us, my cousins were like, okay, let's hang out tonight. Decided to go to Root.
Yeah, we used to. So whilst we were serving, myself and Kola were running where you don't have Moscow, and the place used to be called Root Nightclub, and it was an underground club while serving. All right, and we were able to turn. It was such a great moment at Root, and then at some point,
who invited us to Root? It was Kola.
Kola invited them to our club,
not knowing that Tizi was part of that club as well. Yeah. So we got to that club, and Kola was already feeling like, my people have come, my chicks, that kind of a thing. Before you knew it, Tizi came again, second time, to chance this Kola guy. As in,
No, I had to relocate them to the VIP lounge. That was the first. So they came with their friends. I think your dad was also there.
No.
Okay.
Tokumbo and
Tokumbo, and so I just said, you know what? Let's now give them the weapon of hospitality. And I took them to the VIP lounge. And
he even gave us gold card. So me, I was like, Aristoni, Bobo, you platinum. Aristoni, Bobo, you Tizi. Yeah, Tizi has been chancing me since.
No, it wasn't Chaps, not Chaps.
Chaps was in Banek. It was Roots.
Yeah. Your memory is failing you.
you know. So after that, we met in church. I decided, okay, let me even just exchange telephone numbers with him. You know, we exchanged telephone numbers. I went up to Lagos. Ha! Tizzy finished me with phone calls.
You know,
With phone calls.
then,
then 1.5 MTN was a
I was in
luxury.
Standard Virtual, and that was a subsidiary of STB, Standard Trust Bank. And I was in charge of, if anybody has been following the worship series, I talked about, I was in charge of the telecoms bits while serving. And, you know, it was almost like I was a permanent staff. So I had access to airtime. You know, airtime at that time was really airtime. So I'll be on the phone with this chick, you know, for about 3 hours, you know, and then they will just be wondering. And I don't watch football, so when people are watching football,
then what was raining was fire. 090 was what was raining as at that time. But this guy wasn't on fire. He was on loaded card. MTN 1.5.
Hey, are we advertising for MTN?
No, we're not. Which advertising for MTN. You know, so he would call and call. You know, I was in Lagos. I was like, this guy seems to be so nice.
Do you know that we are doing advert for MTN like this?
Don't worry, you'll be.
You know, please, do you know anybody in MTN? Because you know, we were talking on MTN like that for 3 hours, like that every other day. Before they started doing midnight calls, so they're owing us.
Then he will send me credits. Credits. Before one finishes, he's sending another one. And like, boy, you Jamie, you only lie. My eyes are on some other places, as in another hole. You know. Then one day he says, Aramide, I'm coming to Lagos. I'm coming to see you. He came to check on me once. Then the second time he came to Lagos, he said he was coming in for his cousin's wedding and that he would want me to go along with him. I was like, me that I just came out from one heartbreak. And I was saying,
tell all the secrets, please. Which secrets?
I'll tell you, madam. I'll tell you. You know, that I just came out from a terrible heartbreak. God, as in, I was like, no, I would not date anybody.
Sorry, branding manager, you might even want to tag MTN so they know, you know, they need to give us anniversary gifts.
You know,
this is part of the beneficiary. Yeah?
So thereafter he came to Lagos. When he came to Lagos, I didn't want to go for the wedding.
So she wanted to bump into the show. You think he's a photo, eh? Okay.
So Monjola, say hello, everybody.
Hi.
That's Monjola, our second child.
Great.
Our first girl. Okay, so he said he was coming in for a wedding and he would want me to go with him. I was like, I didn't want to go, but my mom was still alive at that time. And my mom, you know, knew how Tizzy was so consistent with his calls, checking up and all that. So she was like,
did you hear that consistency? Anybody that wants to go and get a woman, you must be consistent. Just like you are chasing business. It's a business. You must be consistent. All right.
So he said, my mom was alive and she said, Aramide, why don't you just, even though because my mom was a fan of not putting all your eggs in one basket. She always told my sister and I, never put your eggs. So then I had like 2 or like 3, you know, you understand what I mean? You understand what I mean? Yeah, so Tizzy was going to be like maybe number 3 as at that time, you know?
Hey, Paranormal, welcome on board.
My mom said, Aramide, just go with this guy. So she got me dressed. Tizzy came to the house. He picked me up. We went for the reception together. At the reception, I was shy because, you know, he comes from a very large family in Okuku, you know, and the wedding was kind of royal, you know, with all these their traditional outfits and everything. So, you know, that even got me a little bit. When we got there, and this guy had not toasted me. He used to say, okay, I would love to, you know, that kind of a thing, you know, let's get things going, you know, but not proper toasting, like, you know, like, you know, like you would come out to say, Aramide, you know, let's do this. So I didn't even know. I knew he wanted something serious, but he wasn't so detailed with what he wanted. But by the time we got to the reception, he called he took me around his people. You know, when you go and greet elders, the next thing he said, Instead of you to say, babe, he said, auntie this, ewo ìyàwó mi, uncle this, daddy this, ìyàwó mi rèé o, mo ti mú ìyàwó wálé o. You know,
The prophetic. What are we talking about?
then everybody kept saying, I was shocked, but people were like, Aramide,
The Saint North, EAP family, how are you?
You know, that was how we did mini introduction that day. This boy did not toast like that, though. It was that wedding, not knowing that he had it all planned, that maybe this girl, she still has, you know, some coins in her head. He set me up and introduced me to his whole family as the bride he was bringing home. That nothing, that we're coming back to get married at a wedding ceremony. So everybody started saying, Titi local, you are the next, you are the next bride they're bringing home. And that was how the whole relationship started. It was not, initially I thought it was going to be a beautiful ride.
Please note that I did not toast her.
You didn't toast me. You didn't toast me.
I only went to possess my possession.
For possession. You know, and that was it. So we came back to Abuja, the relationship kicked off. Everything was going smoothly. Remember, initially I told you this boy, street boy, Taiwo, he showed me Pepe, ladies man, Igboro. So we came into Abuja and we started dating. Then I started seeing all sorts of things, you know, as in, is this love? Is this relationship?
Oh my God.
How to the extent, Tokuba, you here? I want to put one thing down.
Where is Tokuba?
Tokuba, you here?
Tokuba.
You know?
We're going into the shades, though.
Let me give you one of the good shades.
Sorry, so let's just tell them. Just in case you're joining us, this is the Aramide and Taiwo show. Ultimately, we're talking about our journey over the last 16 years. It's the shades and the colors of the last 16 years. So welcome on board. Thank you.
Welcome everyone once again. So one of those shades or while dating teasing.
Sanami, welcome from Gabon. Welcome from Gabon.
I came for the weekend. I was in Taiwo all through the weekend.
What were you doing during the weekend?
All through the weekend.
What were you doing during the weekend?
Madam Mimara, you know what we're doing during the weekend?
I don't know what you were.
Lagbaja was still on.
Oh Lord God.
You know, there was no Conco below that we did not do that weekend. I came to see her, that came to see his cousin. The girl now came with another friend.
Oh Lord.
And these girls, I was so nice to them during that whole weekend. You know, I even said, when I finish my law school exams, you know, they would come back from maybe Kaduna or somewhere. You know, I'll take them out because they were small girls, you know, that kind of.
They were young girls.
Young, sorry. So I said to myself, you know, come after law school and we could always hang out together. I did not know that this girl wanted to eat of the forbidden fruit that was eating as at that time. So I went back to law school. We were preparing for exams. So I went back to school. I was even so tired. I couldn't even drive back to school. I had to manage myself, you know, after having a crazy weekend with your boyfriend, wild weekend. The next morning, his cousin's friend calls me up. Abi cousin's girlfriend calls me up on phone in school to say that, Aramide, Tokumbo, let me just say small. I won't say everything.
Tokumbo, you're here. Tokumbo, do you want to come on? Then Tokumbo, come online.
You know, so what's that?
Okay. No, sorry, we're trying to pin the post. All right, hold on to the comments. I'm holding on to the comments.
It's not doing. Okay. Sorry, everyone. So I went back to school and his cousin's girlfriend calls me up the next morning to say something is happening that I won't believe that. Immediately I left back for school. the strange attached girl that came to see his cousin moved into my Bobo's apartment that same night. No, I didn't want to believe it. I was like,
There was mosquito and all the other. What are we talking? There was mosquito.
I didn't want to believe it.
And I thought, how can somebody be, I said, okay, come.
Don't even refresh
your memory.
My memory.
You were married then. What are we talking about?
That was how Titi started sleeping with that. Did you sleep with her?
I did not sleep with her.
Yeah!
I did not.
That was how that girl moved into Taiwo's room that night.
18 years ago. Yeah.
That was how
From Botswana, how are you?
The girl moved into Taiwo's room that night. And the friend could not, because I was nice to them. So every single girl on this show, please be nice to your cousin's chick or because that was what saved me. I was nice. I wasn't nasty to them. She said her conscience would prick her if she did not tell me what was going on.
So she was a snitch.
She snitched on her friend for me. Hey, you know that my God know they sleep.
Okay.
So I went to Tokumbo's block in law school at that time, and I went to meet her. I said, Tokumbo, guess what happened? I won't lie, sorry to be a little bit dirty. I started purging because I could not believe that the man that I spent the whole weekend with, doing all sorts of wild things together, I could just step out of his place like 2 hours, and another girl has come in to take my position. Holy Ghost fire. I went to Kumbo's room. I said to Kumbo, we need to drive back to town now. That something just happened. Tokumbo was like, Aramide, man, Lord Jao, don't go and fight. Let's promise you. I swore with everything that I would go to town with her and not fight.
Enemies of progress.
Coincidentally, the cousin too was angry because the cousin's cousin also wanted to corner that particular girl. But because Titi had more money banker at that time, and Mr. Biggs was still the in thing at that time. He bought Mr. Biggs ice cream and scotch egg. For that girl and one donut. One scotch egg. So his cousins were part of the coup. So when I got back to town, I drove straight to that house, and they parked my car behind the house.
They're doing James Bond.
Behind, I invested in this marriage. Me and my Tokumba and Co will go to Wuse Market under the hot sun. We will stay with Obioma. Obioma will sew bedsheet for this my bobo. I will buy towels. I will clean up his apartment.
Did you not see towels the way
with towels? With towels. The next thing that happened, they went to hide my car behind. They went to hide my car behind the house.
Exclamation! Welcome.
They said, when you see the signs and you can't still believe that this is truly happening. Before you knew what was happening, they hid me somewhere in the house. And Taiwo Nightcrawler maybe would have gone to see another girl or to hang out with his friends. He didn't come back until maybe they were running another club at that time. Yes. He didn't come back until maybe
we were working 9 to 5 in the bank, running clubs, just doing the side gig, even while still serving. Then after service,
he came back home late. But before, all this didn't hurt me at all. But what pained me was when I saw that girl tied in one of the towels that I bought for my bobo at that time. She went to shower, all up prepared. She went to get ready for her imaginary king to come and cover her up with foolish blanket. I was like, okay. I didn't talk.
They said they eat you guys for hours.
They hid us for hours. Almost 5 or 6 hours. We were in one room. We did not come out of that room. Tokuma and I were there.
You guys have time.
With time.
You guys have time.
If I did not do all that, we will be here today.
No, it's not. It's
part of it. Consistency. True love.
Anyway.
Tizzy got back around 11. From where we were seeing him. He wore his suit, but boy, he bounced. And the girl, the friend told me that I had to come that night because they were leaving back for school the next day. I was like, no, I had to share you. I will treat her mess up. Before Sisi came in, had his own shower. His cousins were like, they will not do anything this night. I said, Taiwo, they will do. Now that the girl is going the next day, something will happen. Tokumba said, Aramide, let's go and sleep, or let's just come out of this room. Let's give up. I said, Tokumba is a lie. Taiwo will want to finish this girl this night, because knowing that the girl was leaving for school, first thing the friend left her and said, the friend wanted her to jigger, to suffer, to be punished. She left her in that house, ran away to another place, and said she was coming back to pick her the next morning so that they will go back to school together. It was planned. I'd never seen that kind of coup before in my life. Conspiracy. But it was worth it. The next thing we had
imaginary king.
Yeah. The next thing that happened was the lights went off and we started hearing noise.
What noise? What was the noise?
I don't know the noise until today. I don't know the noise, but I heard noise. I first one knocked on the door. Maybe the action was almost concluded at that time. I knocked on the door. The girl said, "Who is that?" I gave them another 2 minutes. I knocked again. Sisi was angry. Who be that now? I said he was Mokokoleni. The third time, my duvet that I made, the girl tied it around her body. She came to open the door.
Okay, they don't have to be very explicit about what happened. So long and short of
Ronnie, let me finish this one. The girl got the beating of her life. I had to give her
arrested. You can be arrested.
I had to give her home training. That, what you
well on life.
If they're 18 years ago.
You're a lawyer. Don't disgrace your profession. All right.
The noise was pa. The noise was we had pa.
Nice one, bro.
So that's one shade that I will never in my life forget. Okay. Because the beating, I had to take Alabukun for days because I beat the living daylight out of that girl.
Because you're a terrorist.
Anyway, I was a terrorist.
Okay, yes.
I'm giving my life to
God. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Amen. So for me, what is a shade? Or do I want to talk about colors? Because colors and lights, I believe we're children of light and we're in a new dispensation, and all things are passed away, all things have become
hallelujah.
Amen. And without any pretense, because we are really authentic. This is where we are, in fact, at home we're like, it's a comedy session, because we are comedy fighting, the first 5 years was hell.
Yeah.
The Eco Food Court.
Hey, my sister is like, she's here.
Is it where now? Newton or
Dunstable. Hi, Topper.
Do. Okay, so for shades, I won't be talking so much about shades. Is that I'll be talking about improvements. So Aramide is a fantastic person. She's a wonderful woman. Now before we discovered her strengths, all right, Madam is a strong woman.
I'm strong.
Always respected her.
Thank you, Kiki.
From the sidelines. This beautiful marriage is here today because of both your strengths and commitment.
Yeah,
great, Kiki.
Thanks, Kiki.
So we're about to talk about the strengths now. So I'm a Gallup strength coach, and there's a strength methodology that we soon discovered. And we realized that the reason for most of our squabbles and our fights, most of our fights back then was because we really didn't even understand who we were, and who we are, even as we are. So the reality is, by the time Aramide did her own test, and I did my own test, Aramide had number 1 on her list, activator. All right? On number 2 on her list, she had woo, winning others over. Number 1 on my list is strategic. Number 2 on my list is command. So guess what? And then I have deliberative, I have learner, I have significance. Sorry, Who is this now?
Sorry.
Sorry. All right. Can you all hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Hello. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice. Okay. Great. So I soon realized that what Aramide was doing, I didn't appreciate her at that point, but she has her strengths. So she's the kind of person that if she gets into a place, she's already connecting with everybody, from the waiter to the gate man to the all sorts of people. So she's your jolly good fellow. She's able to connect at that level. For me, I am very reserved. All right, so I'm very selective because I believe association is also critical to how far you can go. So I was very particular as to how I mixed or interacted with people. So that was even a major cause for concern, because that used to be a reason for our squabbles. All right, so if there's anything I want to tell people, you must know yourself. So at the point where we started to appreciate ourselves was the fact when we knew that, hey, it wasn't just, so there are ways I can use that woo, winning others over, to also buff up my wherever I'm deficient in that regard. And that's what we constantly have been doing, upon that discovery. So I will also admonish everybody to take up any of these tests. To beyond personality is to know your strengths and see how you can complement each other. The second thing is I have command. Now, Aramide also has, when I say, let me talk about shades, she has a sconsko. When your daddy's girl, if there was anything that was a major issue when we got married, it was the fact that I married Aramide with her father. All right. So after Aramide has spoken with me, or before she goes to bed, or before we do anything, the next person she's calling is her late dad.
Even in labor room.
Yes. And even at the labor room, all right. So they will talk on end on the phone. You can imagine.
I wanted my dad to come into the labor room.
As in, can you imagine? So it almost disparaging my role, my responsibility as the man of the house. So any decision that needed to be made, I'll hear that. Let me talk to daddy.
Daddy said.
Daddy said, as in, daddy what? Can we do this? Daddy said. I'm like, what's going on? Every decision, even when we God gave us Mobolaji, our son, our first child. What happened? On the day of the name, I wanted something quiet. This man insisted that they must do a big event. That's his grandchild. That's the first grandchild, and that they needed to celebrate it. And it's okay that they needed to celebrate it, but they now incurred bills on my. You don't want to understand. All kinds of people came, and the guy said, "Okay, yes, we are good." And I thought, okay, if you want to organize a gig now and you want to do Owambe for your friends, can you just foot the bill? All right. And then all these bills were passed down. I'm like, but I'll support you guys with a few, and that's the end of the story.
Our papa don't die.
Sorry, Papa. Sorry.
Our papa don't die. At least now you have peace of mind.
Okay. So for that's like a shade, but you also need to understand that a daddy's girl. So we have 2 daughters now, and I can imagine the kind of closeness I have with my daughters. And now I can really appreciate that point where, all right, as a daughter, there's this, affinity between the dad and the daughter. All right. So this same time, I'm already imagining now that my daughter wants to take a decision. She comes to me. All right. Now I can better appreciate the kind of experience she was having, because she was just coming in, and she felt, okay, who at that point was our role model, ultimately would have been her dad. And so for anybody that gets into that, quagmire or that situation, you must understand that it takes time for you to win, to get her off, the way you win the baby off the breast milk. You need to win your wife, or even your husband off the affinity between either the mother and the father, because I was very close to my mom.
Yes, I was going to say that I also had same issues with my mother-in-law. my Taiwo was my mother-in-law's breast. You would not know that she had another daughter. Tizi Tizi was my mother-in-law's life. So winning Taiwo off his mom's breast was hell for me. So you to say that one.
Okay, so yeah, so but obviously that's what I've said now, that it's okay that right now we can appreciate it, because I'm already seeing the same similarities between what is happening with our daughters and what is happening with our sons.
Yeah.
There's a likelihood that the sons tend to their mothers, all right, and I'm sure people that are in this order understand this, and then daughters tend towards their fathers. So for those that want to get married, and for those that are also bringing up a family, you must also be deliberate as to how you nurture your children. All right, 10 planets, welcome. Holy Beauty, welcome. All right, so look, this is 16 years. You've heard Aramide's gory, shady stories about me. I'm telling you about the great light she has been of immense support. All right, a woman that can help in birthing 3 children. Sorry, not kids, 3 God-given children. Ought to be celebrated. And so this is one of the things that informed us celebrating. So I'm not giving her a Ferrari, but I thought, okay, it was important that the world knows, that there's behind every upcoming startup specialist, there is a legal caterer. All right, and that's today is actually to celebrate Aramide, aka Ramsey, the trouble router. Oh, got you. All right, guys. So it's Ebony 1303. Thanks for coming on board.
Okay, Becky.
Okay. Yeah, talk with Becky. How are you? So, family, you set us on that journey. Does anybody have any questions? All right. Is there anything you're curious about over the last 16 years that you want to know? So we have the right to decide to answer, and plead the Fifth Amendment, and
Let me just quickly say this. I never wanted to stay in marriage.
Ellen, yes.
I never wanted this kind of marriage that I got myself into.
Kingsley State. Yes.
As a growing-up child, I just wanted one man to impregnate me, have 2 children, and then move ahead. So that mentality was stuck in my brain for years. I did not want a serious, great marriage. I didn't. So at every little opportunity, I wanted to just get out of marriage.
Thank you, Helen.
I wanted to just get out of marriage. But along the line, I just thought to myself, Aramide, what is it? You can make this. You can make this work. You can make this work. And
so they're saying work. So let me tell you something. Sometimes it depends on who you are married to. So for me, having been raised by a single mom that had a failed marriage on two, well, a failed marriage and a failed relationship, for which I'm a consequence of. I it's also my commitment to say, what, except the woman walks away, for me, it will not be in my record to say I walked away. All right. So there was also a resolute determination within me to say I wasn't going to call it quit. So I was willing to give it all that is required to make it work. Even when it was, sometimes I got into the end of the road, but I just couldn't see myself because I'm not a natural quit. I don't quit. All right. And I proposed within myself. I said, hey, the second thing I could allude to was that the fear of God. Not necessarily about people, was more of like I had a sacred order, and I said, hey, I needed to key myself into this reality. Then along the line, the children started to come up. We had 2 children between the first 5 years that was very chaotic. And our third child, come and show your face. Um, that's the last baby. The story of this baby was almost like stealing us into the next step. So let me tell you something. The first 5 years was turbulent. The next 5 years was getting to become and a gang. All right. And That's one of the products of that episode. Because so you want to send it to everybody. Jadi Sola, so Jadi Sola used to came from a deliberate, it was a deliberate agenda. After we went to visit there. All right, bye. After we went to visit my mom way back in Osogbo and then Okuku, and there was something that everybody just kept saying, Omoba, as a prince, I'm a prince. All right, Omoba, you guys need to do something one more. Because we had two lovely children at that point.
No, but even with the two children, I still wanted to leave the marriage. Yes. Okay. But Jade came and sealed up the marriage. Okay. Now, sometimes Sarah and I would say to ourselves, this is when we should even wear the wedding. That it was even after we had Jade, we should have gotten married, worn our wedding dress, he would have worn his suit, then we'll go before the priest and let them ordain our marriage, because that was when everything just stabilized. Jade's pregnancy just brought some kind of firm foundation in the marriage. Because then I was like, if I have more than 3 children, the next man I'm going to marry might not want to cater for 3 children. So I only wanted 2 Ghana must go, one on my left, one on my right, so that my departure will be easy, But Jade came and everything just turned around.
So somehow also, how did this thought, that you've always had get into your head? But, that's something that people understand. We all have our perspectives around life. I also try to ask myself, this lady, are you sure you are ready to stay in this game? Because there was sometimes I noticed that it was a bit when I say nonchalant about committing, and I just thought, it's okay. It's okay.
I wasn't nonchalant. Okay. I was scared.
Okay.
I was scared. Okay. I'm not now anymore. Okay, I was scared then. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, our journey has been to the glory of God. We have found our path. All right. We have tried to pursue our purpose, and we want every other person to follow suit. So identify yourself. All right. Identify yourself is imperative. You pursue your purpose consistently. Like James we talked about, it's all about consistency, commitment, and communication. So we have also learned to start to communicate more frequently now. We are able to communicate well. If there are issues, I think there, and there are no grudges. If there are grudges, we try to settle it. And but, men are like an endangered species, because no matter what we do, the woman is always right, and so we defer to that. And so I'm the champion of women.
She asked what has kept us. I think God's grace and mercy has kept us. We're still not a perfect couple. We're still in the process of.
We are constantly learning. We don't seem to have
learning.
gotten it right.
Yes.
So we can even leave here now. Hey, why did you say that thing? Why, But back to us.
Then I chose to have suru, patience. Some things I just overlook because Taiwo does not have blood pressure. I have migraine. I have blood pressure. So why would I want to kill myself because of him when I know I still have 3 children that I want to raise? I want to be part of their journey. So I just had to speak to myself, Aramide, you need to calm down. That boy, calm down. Koletoile, just free yourself,
Like nothing the 3 C's. Commitment and communication. And then we now moved it on to say, look,
patience,
perseverance, all right, and then what do you want to call the and prayer. So if you want to know, this is from the legal paper and from the startup specialist, what keeps you going? Consistency, commitment, and communication. And then from the legal caterer, from our perspective, she says patience, perseverance, and prayers. All right. So, ladies, you want to take a cue from that. Guys, you also want to take a cue from that.
Marriage is a beautiful thing. Trust
It is
me.
a beautiful thing.
If I can still remain in marriage, then anybody can remain in marriage.
And they tell me that Taiwo,
if I can be in marriage, see in this marriage, anybody can be in marriage. Anybody can be in marriage.
I can be a tax master. And there's something about me that I started to have a knack to it. All right. So things when things are not in that proper way, they are not quality. And yes, so it's irrespective of and in all respects, our quality goes from people to things to lifestyle. You want to do a party, you want to try party, you want to start. Right? So that's why I even had to go online today because I know because of this COVID, so the same was a big party, things that we can't see, but I know our friends, so I said no problem. So you want people, I mean, no problem. We'll take you to the wall. All right. So we'll be running up shortly. It's about 5 minutes more, so that we can do beyond and then we hope that if you guys still want this, and if Madam Mirola can also get us the MTN deal or whatever to keep us constantly online, then this will just be a recurring gesture. And we probably do this once every week. Then I'll be able to work with it. Alright? So yes, marriage is sweet and beautiful. Communication and understanding each other is amazing. You want to show your face? Alright. Good. Okay. So any final words to the audience about today? And that's the second. You want to? All right. Where's BJ? No, take.
BJ is gone.
Okay. Okay. So the boy has. All right. Everyone is waving. Okay. So your final words, so that we get out of their faces.
So for upcoming people looking up to getting married, please come on board, come and join us. It's not an easy journey, but if I am here, still in it, then anybody can be in it.
Okay. And my final word, you also need a support system. So along the line, and through our future, we've had couples that we could call on. All right. So one, I recall there was another incident, and the people that came to help us douse the tension, the Abbas, Doctor and Doctor Mrs. Bode Abbas. They are in the UK currently. I had a few friends, yeah, that also have helped us constantly cement this. So your support is critical. So we have the likes of gathering we used to also have with the we are at their place yesterday. The Yenigas, yeah, they just opened Adefilas, the then Aramide is also told me they also I'm also at the league of Lai and Co and IJ. So you see that
Remediola.
Yeah. There are a lot of them.
Tokumbo Tuji.
So you now see that cluster now, that cluster ensures that the fire burning. That's one of the things that is critical. Who you surround yourself with is also a key to keeping your marriage. So you have people that are constantly loggerheads that do not support the need to union. Ultimately, the fire they will constantly also tell you to get out of the marriage and give you another alternative. So guys, it's been a roller coaster. We've had a wonderful time. I'm sure you've also been blessed.
Yeah.
Whichever way. We've just had our own way of celebrating our 16th wedding anniversary. Right? So it's a good time now to count down and what do you want to what do you guys want? Oh, Wally B, thank you for joining.
Light on. You should be here. You should be here live.
You should have been here like that. What did you play? All right.
She should have been here.
Okay. So all right guys, we're done. Do you want to we are not dancing now, do we need to? No, we're not dancing, we'll dance later.
Want to turn off the light.
We want to turn off the light. All right, it's about time to go. Thank you. Thank you. We love you.
Love you all from the other countries.
All right. The video. And then we end the broadcast here also.
Thank you, guys.